least not from our perspective.
Everybody wins.
Team Liquid fans are like, wait.
It's not like I definitely have a flight to catch in like 12 hours.
It's all good. It's all good. Looking forward to seeing what Game 2 brings, that's for sure, together with Moxie and Jenkins.
You know that things have gone sideways when SPG is the one who is being encouraged.
Don't be discouraged. All right.
I'm sorry. All right. So yeah, we have Ice on that Mars. He's got to be a lot more aggressive, active. They've got to play around him. But then on the flip side, with what Team Liquid is bringing here, it's a solid draft. Like, they've got very good team fight. They've got that sustain coming out from IO, Poke. So how do things have to go here to convince us that Secret can do this, besides Avery just saying, don't lose hope?
You know, I feel like neither side really has a draft advantage, which makes sense when you have two very experienced captains on both sides. There's timings for each team. Like, I think that Mirana's definitely an underrated hero. You've got some really nice combos with her. You have Bane plus Mirana. You have Mars plus Mirana, and you Void Spear plus Mirana, where you're going to Yules into Remnant and then set up the arrow. There are 3 heroes in 3 different lanes that he can play with on Mirana. So it's a god tier Mirana game. It's a high win rate hero, and I think it's quite underrated. There's a Nightmare setup.
It's a good setup into the arrow, and that should be a dead Insania.
First blood. Now to
Yep, does commit to the Nightmare, but, you know, naturally with Mirana, that's typically what you're going to do.
I think you're okay with that. Like, generally, yeah.
And they get a first female too. So if last game went his way in the laning phase, with First Blood and basically a bottle in his inventory, he's gonna be doing very well. He actually opts for the stick instead.
I think I think this time around, right, like we saw Mickey pick up that puck, and it was just like almost an insta-pick coming out from Secret. They're like, okay, we're gonna get this Void Spirit. He knows exactly how he wants to play this. He feels confident playing against Mickey, so I think that this mid lane should go pretty well for him again.
Yeah, this is a weird matchup.
You know, who he is, right? Mickey, not a bad mid laner by any means, but I would say Sumail definitely, you know, has that
it's
reputation.
Like one of the only guys that Mickey doesn't have the edge against, because Mickey currently is like rank 4 in EU or something, and it's just that Sumail, like his laning prowess is just unmatched.
Well, they're mad about that first blood, so this time around they're going to just try to punish Puppy here, and Insania will get his revenge.
Cool. Okay, I was thinking that they may do this, where they put the Razor against TA, because in the mid lane, that's a counter matchup, so why not do it in a side lane? This results in them aggro tri-laning, and then you have Zai down here on a Watermelon, who you're not going to be able to arrow combo him because he has Kraken Shell. So it's actually a really good tide game to 1v2.
Yeah, and usually, you know, this lane very scary, right? Because you've got the spear into arrow or what have you. But
never mind.
I mean, they went for the first blood, right? Or, well, not first blood at that point, but to help kind of secure the lane, make sure that everyone gets off to a nice start. I'm sure they would have preferred to have it over on Ma too.
Wasted arrow.
Ice taking so much damage. It does get the spear away, but they've got the clicks. That is a rough start here for him, as they also have, you know, lots of damage here and just disable over here coming out from Boxy. So that's a horrible way to start this bottom lane for Secret.
Yeah, Liquid just with the excellent lane rotations at the start, starting in that tri-lane, unexpected, and then rotating towards bot, going for that double kill.
Yeah, having the level 2 on Boxy really, you know, made things happen.
Yeah, and Mirana not being level 2, it's like the hero's very difficult to kill, even with a Lion who has decent stuns.
An easy target.
Unless she's level 1. Then you can kill her. So
yeah, she had already used the arrow too. You saw that she had gone for the range creep, perhaps not expecting that sort of aggression.
Yeah, now Yapzor is trying desperately to get level 2. That's this situation on Mirana really sucks. You can lose a lot of lane advantage just being stuck at level 1. Gotta soak some XP. Oh man, Zai is so close to his helm already. He's looking scary.
Matu sapping a lot of this damage off of Nisha here. Gonna continue to get some of those right clicks off over on the creeps.
So in the mid lane, the way that TA can often do fine against Razor is maxing Meld, and that's what he's doing in the side lane, because the damage you can't steal. That bonus damage from Meld lets you get some last hits.
It lasts so long too, like It's actually ridiculous how long the Meld Strike lasts for the debuff.
Not exactly panning out for him in the side lane because you don't have the levels, you don't have the tower that you can run into. Although this little bit of a creep wave is, you know, nicely positioned. Still only 10-1 to the 14-5 of Matumba, who's got his full boots on Matumba. So he's
hard to get away from.
Yeah, the lane equilibrium's really good too.
And just sapping here from Nisha. And then gonna turn around, put that damage right back on Pup. He does have the brain sap though, so he's gonna be able to get a little bit of that trade off, but we'll turn the sleep over to Insania and just be about the business.
And Sumail, as expected, given the fact that he got this first blood, is doing exceptionally well mid.
He'd have eaten me if given half
Yeah, and
a
he knew
chance.
that he knew what he was getting into, right? You saw how fast they picked up the Void Spirit, so he felt very, very comfortable. So it makes sense. 26-5 over on the Void Spirit, 18-1 over on the Puck.
Yeah, this is another one of those matchups that, as time has progressed, mid laners have considered it as going like either way. At first, Puck was considered to be like the best Void Spirit hard counter because he's so elusive and you can coil him and you've got silence for him as well.
Yeah, it was hard to lock him down.
But then it turned out to be really hard to lock down a Puck as well. And Void Spirit with the Yule Scepter can instantly lock down Puck and jump the Puck whenever he's pushing in a side lane.
Nice little deny here from Boxy. One of those leap charges to try to get the final hit. But yeah, Zaya's just had such a nice lane here. He had 2 kills in the bottom lane, only 1 kill and then the 1 assist, but he is just accelerating so nicely. Mirana barely reaching that level 3 now. Still sitting at 2. Definitely having problems in this lane.
This is looking like a big boy Tidehunter game. He's going to be that frontliner that's so hard to deal with. You get a lead on that hero, you can feel somewhat like a Timbersaw, where you're just borderline unkillable. TA, though, this is one of the few heroes in the game that can tear through Tidehunter's armor because the Kraken Shell is damage block, and damage block does not work nicely against these huge damage instances. It's calculated based on the total amount, so...
A sign to heed.
You see some movement, though, coming over into this mid lane. They're hoping to possibly make some moves, try to protect one another as well. Puck having the level 6 obviously is a big deal. Level 6 over on Sumail too, if they can find this opening. Boxy creeping forward though. Give that rune coming up. Sumail, they'll open up with the Hex. Follow up with a Spike. And they'll use the Dream Coil. They do have the Mirana nearby. Will end up landing over onto Mickey. It's got the Star Storm, live with the silence. Mickey, though, not looking so healthy. So now Boxy has to run away. They'll step forward. Another step over onto Boxy. Late. Oh, is he going to be able to go? Oh, with a follow-up, though, here. From Insania. Can they turn this back around? Sumail, he wants this kill, but he just isn't looking like, no, maybe he will, though. Picks up the rune, trying to go through, get some of that region, trying to cut off Boxy here. Insania will tether back over to Mickey, though. Uh-oh, it's not quite what they wanted to plan. Boxy throwing out the Hex, just poking at Sumail. Taking a decent amount of damage, a step forward. Mickey is here, though. He's gonna drag him underneath the tower. And they'll get the kill on Sumail, just barely.
Sense distortions.
And they drop the Purge voice line. Purge is gonna be so excited.
Yeah, that was interesting from Sumail. I think he felt like he was a little bit in over his head there, so he's like, I'm gonna go for the kill and then just die. Great kiting from Liquid. Insania with the save, that really turned that around, and I was thinking that neither team really had enough damage to kill either of the 2 mid laners there between the heroes, but if you take the fight that long, you're getting multiple rounds of spells off, then killing Sumail is actually possible.
Dragon, Yapzor was trying to get into position, it looked like, for an arrow, but creeps being in the way will prevent that.
Yeah, that's a hard hero to hit because the Ether Remnant connecting onto Mickey is already going to be difficult, and it's not a long stun duration at level 1, not long enough to set up for an arrow. Only 1.4 pull duration. Was buffed relatively recently.
What were you expecting?
We'll get the arrow set up, though, for Insania. Very nicely done. And that'll be a pick-off on
that light.
Io. Although Matu is going to go for that link. Pops the Eye of the Storm. Puppy realizing he doesn't have anything canceled out just yet. So he's going to be able to walk away. Well, teleport away, rather.
Okay, so this leaves Matu free to push the top tower and take that.
It's what
Dream Coil gets used. Boxy following up here, throwing out the stun, and with that orb, they'll be able to punish Yapzor for being around the double damage rune. He should need to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, he's high-fiving, but...
He's being a bit cheeky,
Radiant's
but...
gone.
Yeah, no, they'll go for it.
Structures.
He's gonna high-five the tower. In comes Boxy, though. Going to see if they can find it. Oh, the Spirit's connecting from Insania. Gonna be the teleport coming out, though. Ice. They're all grouped up. They do have to be careful. Yapzor in position. Matu's already left.
Oh, Boxy.
Immediately with the hex. Beautiful Earth Spike, but they have the stuns. So,
All right.
4 heroes, though, here up in this top lane. And all they get is the support.
That was about to be
The Dire best do
devastating
something about
for
that
Liquid.
bottom tower.
Like Ice, if he ults there, he probably gets Insania and Matumba, and Matumba's the big kill. And so
Dire's
Boxy
bottom
sacking
tower's
himself there
getting the
in order to
business.
get that stun off is so important. It's 4 heroes stuck top. Oh, just kidding.
Look at the way, yeah, they still managed to go and find themselves 2 of them. The arrow's gonna connect over onto Matu, they'll get Insania, and they'll be able to get Matu as well. So a very useful arena coming out from Ice. I think he's glad that he held on to it because they still ended up getting the kill on Boxy, and then they also managed to get themselves a kill on 2 more on the
Radiant's
side of
top
Liquid.
tower's hurting.
Yeah, all set up by this early ward in the Radiant Triangle. That's how they knew where Insania and Matumba were farming. That's how they could make that play. So whoever set that up, it's a Rubik ward, so I would assume it was Yapzor.
Double damage.
Mickey activating the double damage, though.
Radiant's
like
top tower
perhaps he wants to
is to riches. Dire's
make
mid
the
towers
jump
having
over on
technical
Smale, and they do have the
difficulties.
line nearby. That's more lockdown on a hero that's very elusive. But just gonna click away on the tower, clear up the creep wave a little bit.
Yeah, with the DD, there's definitely enough damage to kill basically any hero, maybe barring Ice.
There's a lot of rotation here. Mickey sidestepping, though. And see that Yapzor's gonna pull them away, and the Tidehunter making his way over too. Nice play. So they're gonna bait a little bit with the puck. Boxy finding the Mirana. Zip forward here. Snaps the coil with the leap. Yapzor's gonna get clicked down. Now you don't have to worry about that arrow flying out your face or those Starstorm.
That's a strange interaction, that you can't leap while coiled, but if you get coiled while leaping, it can just insta-break the coil, essentially killing you. So, nice catch from Mickey. This is on a catapult wave too, so they can look to maybe get some
Radiant's
chip damage.
bottom tower in
Nah,
pretty
Zai's walking
sad
away.
right now.
Too many heroes.
It's a lot of pressure, though, right? Like,
Yep.
it made other heroes rotate over into that mid lane. And that's what you want to do with the Tidehunter. You want to have this Tidehunter show up, and you either have to fight or you have to just concede. And in this case, you know, he put the pressure on, they decide to fight, they got themselves a kill. I think they're happy with that.
Yep.
And now Zai can just go back to the bottom lane and continue farming up.
Yeah, they're waiting for the blink tide timing. They also have Witchblade on Mickey that they're going to be getting. This Ice.
Oh boy, that Boxy.
Okay.
Boxy's gonna run into everyone here. So, Puppy's on a killing spree, not something you typically hear.
I was going to say, probably not worth the arena. That's why he doesn't use it. But then also, he's got these 2 supports that are showing up. And Bane Mirana is basically a guaranteed kill, so why not take it? Mickey, though, constantly pressuring. This, it's funny, you wouldn't expect this from a Puck, but like this is how Puck has been for the last few patches, where you do kind of sit mid until you get the Witchblade, and then you're this actually strong mid to late game hero. You play more for the late game than before, where you would just rotate super early. It's more about counter rotations.
I like the way they're playing this too, right? So like, Secret has several parked over in this mid lane. You've got the Mirana, you've got the Bane generally, so they can set up if they, you know, step out of place. But on the flip side of that, because the Puck is playing so aggressively, they're figuring someone might jump on him. And if that's the case, keep Boxy nearby, punish them, make sure that any initiation that they make is immediately countered. And I like that sort of play. Top lane though, rotations coming out. They want to take this tower. Ice still has the arena. Matu's going to try to drain some of that damage. He's going to get held in place, but the follow-up here from Mickey. Jumps forward, they'll find the kill on Insania, so they won't have that extra regen. Follow-up with the Dream Core finger play coming up from Boxy. They'll be able to go take out Ice, and they'll follow up, get a kill on Puppy. But the rest of Secret is here, stepping onto the back lines. He wants his kill over onto Matu, and he gets the drag back. They'll find the kill on the Razor. They'll get Boxy as well. And now Puck having to run away.
I'm surprised that didn't go better for Liquid, considering that hit was what,
It was a big Ravage too, on top of everything else.
That was at least a 4-man Ravage. I didn't quite see if Sumail got caught by it, but that was a 4. Yeah, I think Sumail's a little bit off screen here for the Ravage. But I think the instant link breaking on Razor is important.
Yes.
That's a huge amount of damage that's mitigated.
Puck out.
Yeah, that what a ravage right around the edge of it too. Like it's massive
Perfectly
range grab.
set up
Yeah.
as well. Like Mickey had a great angle, but just like you said, that link not taking effect.
There's just no damage. It's all like small sources of damage. You have the burst of Lion. That's your 5 position though. Well, he's 4 position this game. 4.5 with an IO.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah, you got to get that link off. That's a big source of damage. You don't have the Witchblade on Puck yet, so Puck is just doing this burst, which, of course, you have TA with Refraction. It's not going to be super effective against her until you have the Witchblade, which he almost has.
Well, the setup here. No? All right, they're going to back off.
It doesn't have the Remnant, and Yapzor wasn't exactly in position to hit that off of the Yules.
It's funny because we just said how Liquid is making them play into them. But that whole engagement was definitely getting very aggressive and greedy. A big aggressive and greedy, you know, down here, Puppy, trying to get some warding done. He's got to pay for that.
Dewarding that cliff, I can understand that. At basically every single replay that I've watched from Insania, he's got a ward on that cliff at about this point. They really value the cliff wards and camping them, especially the cliff wards in their own jungle whenever they are leaving and playing elsewhere. I see why Puppy went for that. I think he might have been trying to ward himself too.
Probably. Do you think that that was the right call to try to force that fight in the top lane, though, I guess is my question. Is it just because of the fact that Matu's link didn't end up?
I think it's a decent call. I think it's a fine call because you lost the bottom tower and you know that you're getting out farmed. You want to be able to farm these jungle camps, which is only enabled by having that tower. And with an IO, it's even more important that you have the side lanes opened up because the hero relocates from, you want to relocate from far away rather than close, because then you can consume more of the map. So yeah, I think it does make sense. Perhaps there could be like a smoke to it. It could be better executed, but I think some play to that top tower is absolutely right. They had the Ravage. I'm pretty sure they covered it.
A good Ravage too. And speaking of good Ravages too, in the mid lane with the Dream Coil, make sure that Smail cannot escape. Although the fall, good Hex coming out from Boxy because they lock him down for long enough here, so get that Hex over. And they'll be able to drain a bunch of this damage this time around. Monty's going to be able to do some clicking. They do manage to stun up over onto the Puck. So Puck can't just zip away, but jumping forward again, has his eyes on the Poppy. The beam's going to come off. They have enough damage to be able to take down Mickey. They'll pop with that spear over onto Monty. He's sitting so low. They're going to have to back off on the side of Liquid. Everyone's HP needing a little bit of time here, especially for this Razor, before they could go back in.
Regeneration.
Boxy?
He does still have finger on Boxy, so he's feeling feisty. Nah, his
All
Razor's
5 are up though.
Yeah, Ice was almost in finger range in that fight, but with the armlet toggle, he wasn't exactly, and now he's got a regen rune, so he's fine.
By just throwing his body between him and the tower, is going to get healed up by Io. Trying to just push them off of this mid tower. Got the anchor smash on Zai. Already gone and used that arena. Get a nice hex off, take a little bit of the tower damage, plus a gush. Again, there is a trap there, so Nightmare placed over here by Puppy, but they have the silence. It's got the armlet toggles though. It's going to be kind of hard unless they can get the burst damage off. There it is, a finger. And Zai will ensure that Ice can't walk away.
Yeah, good patience with the finger there. If he uses that and it gets nightmared, or he uses it on the end of an armlet toggle, it's just wasted. And I think that Ice just walks away and you feel really bad. But very patient with it. Waits until there's an auto attack flying, so the toggle would have been like borderline impossible.
And a lot of good bust from pushing. And a lot of good patience coming out from both sides here. Knowing when to execute and when not to. Nisha creeping forward though. Showing off that blink on Zai. He's just blinks away. Casually continues to farm up the jungle. And very tanky. He's got Matu and Insania nearby. So if they try to make any plays, they're gonna have to bring enough heroes to deal with all this early aggression.
Yeah, Ravage is up pretty soon, despite like the start of that whole engagement happening with a Ravage essentially. This mid fight has been going back and forth for so long because both teams just don't want to give up their mid tower. Both teams are super happy farming their triangle, taking those ancients. Boxy's very close to his blink.
He has been getting it in fairly good timing in each game that he plays Lion.
They have to relocate for bot. If he does get a setup here on Ice, if Ice continues one more wave, there's no finger, so it's a little spooky. Got a lot of
Dire's
HP on
top
Mars.
towers,
Yeah, I
you
don't
know
think
the
it's
drill.
necessary, perhaps, right? Like, he's getting enough out of this area. He's able to set up some of that XP.
Yeah, he's definitely chilling. Like, if you're lying, you're farming Blink, it's like, all right, guys, maybe this is the one time that I don't want to make a play.
Yeah. Unless he happens to stumble into him and he's very low, you know, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
that
got
you
the
make
big-
the call, but
He's got the big Philly, too, on Boxy, so... Do we have a Philly on the other side, too?
Fog's favorite item. We just got it now.
Yeah, we do. A Philly on both sides, okay. There is balance in Dota.
Balance in all things.
Yeah.
This is so, like, I understand why they're in position, right? This is so important. Although they go the jump forward here, followed up from Zai. Be able to go land the arrow, and you can see the teleports coming out immediately. They want to try to punish it. They only managed to go and grab Zai. Follow that little bit more damage. No, it's going to be enough to take down the Tide Hunter. A nice TP rotation here. There is no Tide to have to worry about. This tower could easily be taken by the side of Secret. And they've got Deso online now, so Nisha should be able to take it very, very easily, clean up the wave, and then go back to whatever business he wants to do.
Now, another thing that this opens up is Roshan. Zai has no buyback, but when he is alive, there is a Ravage. And the question is, can they take this in 20 seconds? It's pretty early.
They have a Deso and they have Null Strike. I mean, that's
There's some stalling potential, though.
true. The Spirit's getting tossed in, trying to...
Puck orbs as well, not bad.
Yeah. They do back off. Oh, they find Boxy. Boxy, though, trying to get to position. He's going to end up falling for this. They do manage to take down the bait, but now Mickey's in a little bit of trouble here. Monty's turning back around, draining away over onto Nisha. The buyback coming out from Puppy. Chasing after some mail. They need the lockdown. Zai is here. Oh, nice waning rift, though. He's just stuck over into the corner. They managed to go and click down some mail.
Oh, glorious day.
That is the Blink Dagger now completed for Lion. So he's got to be pretty happy about. That's a little bit slower than average, but they managed to hold the Roshan. They've got Zai back up and kicking. He's got the Ravage. It's going to be scary for them to try to go up against this. Don't have that arena over on the Mars anymore for another 7 seconds.
A little help.
They should be able to get enough click damage off on the tower to equal out these lanes.
Towers,
Yeah, they held the Ravage for this whole time, so that's the big reason there where Secret, there's nothing that they can do to defend that.
Radiant's
Obviously, you don't want to
top
fight without
towers
Sumail, but there's some potential for stalling, backline jumps, whatever, if there's no Ravage. But Zai, he didn't use it before he died. He understood that, like, okay, well, I'm dead. But the more important cooldown over a death timer is Ravage, for sure. Like, you'd rather not just waste that ability.
We have a very important item completed now for
Radiant's
Nisha.
top tower's
We have the
taking hits.
BKB online for TA.
And he disassembled the Dragonlance, so opting to really value this next timing, that they know that they're going to fight within the next few minutes, because otherwise he would just, you know, save. He would just save for the strength component.
Wanting to take advantage of that early momentum that his team can bring here. Oh my god. I didn't realize that Zai has a completed Ag Scepter.
Well, okay, to be fair, other people buy like Hood and then Blink and then Aghanim Scepter, so.
True, but he obviously values this, so they walk right into the pit. Mickey's gonna make the call, get back.
Yeah, not the fastest at taking Roche on these heroes. They need to get a kill first, and they can do it. They have a Ravage.
And they're gonna smoke up and see if they can get the jump here. Nisha over in the mid lane. Gonna play the bait as the rest of the team is smoked up behind them. Just going here from Foxy to follow up with the Ravage. The BKB play comes out. They wanted to burn down Nisha, but he's on his own BKB. Yapzor jumping into the middle. They want to try to get Insania, but they're not gonna be able to do it. They just feed script Monty over onto the backline side. He's all alone now. He's just trying to run away from all of these heroes, and he's tanky. Just get taunted back in, but there's just so much damage. He's surviving for quite a while, throwing out the gush. So the Yule's coming into play here, and eventually they'll be able to take out Zai. Secret with the counter initiation. I don't think that Liquid is expecting that at all. Look at this.
So Ice placed his arena so that it blocked off everybody from the TA. So Matumba obviously can just walk right through it, but then he just dies to the grip. These other heroes are on the low ground. I mean, also the Nightmare save from Puppy there is what lets Nisha get off his BKB, and then sure, he gets sucked, but he has so much damage just from the Melt Strike. He's able to turn around and kill Matumba with the Fiend's Grip as well. Of course, that damage pierces BKB.
He just seems very happy about that.
It was a great bait and good faith in his team that they would be able to counter initiate too. Like, if Ice doesn't press his BKB in time there and he can't put the arena blocking like that, they just lose the fight.
Jump forward over onto Puppey. Strong doesn't have too much to save him, so end up falling, but it's only a consolation prize because they've already got the Aegis online here for TA. Liquid will have to be happy with that for now, but there are bigger challenges up ahead.
You know, this TA Razor matchup, it's one of those ones that, like, people are usually on either side where they think it, like, really goes in favor of TA, really goes in favor of Razor, but it really does seem like it depends a lot on initiation, who goes on who's got the better supporting cast, because heroes that deal really well with Razor are ones that instantly kill him before you can do a huge damage drain. And TA obviously is amazing at doing that, given the right circumstances in the team fight. But on the flip side, TA also is a large damage source right-click hero, so if you do get drained, then you can't just kill the TA, and Razor can also peel through the refraction charges. So initiation is key in both of these games, and counter initiation too. Like Secret with the Nightmare save in that fight was super important.
It's a lot of fun to watch these two teams duke it out, honestly. And just see, these advantages that we might not necessarily consider, especially on such top-tier players.
And Yapzor has his Vessel. I was thinking maybe a Yules, just so you can, Yules the Tidehunter, set up on these heroes in the side lanes. But he's opting to go for a Force Staff, so committing even more to the counter initiation.
A little bit of a nightmare here from Poppy. Ice gets in position. We'll pin him over to the wall. That's so much damage. He used to be so tanky. What happened? Nice, quick pick off here for the side of Team Secret.
One thing that actually makes Mars pretty solid against Tidehunter is what we just saw there, where you put the arena down in such a way that it's like, okay, so he's purging your stuns, right? But he still can't walk out of arena.
Yeah.
So it's effectively a hard disable against a hero that is otherwise very difficult to hard disable.
I forget who said this. One of the analysts said this a while back. But they basically said, Arrow flipping over onto Boxy here, so I'll punish him for being that deep into the woods alone. But someone said that the Mars Arena is very similar to the idea of a Doom, right? Because it just removes you from the rest of your team.
That was me.
Was it you?
I said that, yeah.
Oh my God.
That was me.
That was some late night NA DPC I watched last year.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a really smart thing.
Well, the reason that
actually really funny.
And the reason that I usually think that, though, is because of the spear, isolating everybody from the speared target. But I guess in another way, it's like the Doom in that it's a disable that you can, purge and it's still there.
Yeah.
Like there's no purging something that just is on the ground for a certain duration of time. Same reason why like Disruptor is good against these status resistance heroes. You can't walk out of the kinetic field even if you have high status resist. That's so funny.
That's really funny. Yeah, I remember watching. I was just like, that's a really good point. I like the way that they described it. And it was you all along.
The one good point in that entire...
And then I think Sunspan started talking about, his bowel movement.
He did,
he
does do that.
I looked at Dakota, and poor Dakota.
He's a disappointed person all the time.
That's not true. He's a dad. He's used to hearing about poop. That's fair. Just not from maybe people as old as...
Speaking of poop, no, I'm just kidding. All right, what do we got? What do we got going on here? Bobby got such an early Ether Lens, and...
he's working on the Ags now, like... And the Ags is still broken. Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
literally. Like, the illusions literally don't take enough damage. They take 200% when they're supposed to take 700%. Although, against Tidehunter, like, this is one of the theory-crafted heroes that can deal with the Bane. The thing with the Bane Axe is it lowers the cooldown of your ult as well. So it's like if you're dealing with a Bane ult with a Ravage, which is a much longer cooldown ability because of the Axe Scepter, it's not actually that good. It's like a theory-crafted thing already in practice. It doesn't work like that because of the cooldown reduction.
I like this though, how Zai's like very much the forward person, like doing the scouting, putting himself in those risky situations. Puppey just following him around. Although mid-game jumping forward, they got the silence. Can they get up enough damage in time? That's the question. Nightmare will buy a bit more. But eventually they'll take down Puppey. And now over on the back lines, they're gonna wait patiently here for this top mid-game. Those sidestepping around, they go forward with a big gosh here. And now they'll go use that arena, try to separate, but again, Montu, he's got the BKB out. Mickey over on backline, dodging around. More of the guts just being tossed down as it jump over onto Nisha. They need more damage as Foxy does get left behind, so Samel will clean up. Monty's sitting a little bit low. Zai again finds himself surrounded by just all of these heroes. He's gonna try and teleport away, but he's not gonna be able to, not without remnants, so we'll end up taking down Tide.
I think Zai's blink got canceled in that fight, and he ravaged nothing. I'm fairly certain, unless there was something that was off camera that I wasn't seeing that was getting ravaged. I'm
Brave, but
something canceled
stupid.
his blink. Because his ravage hit
Nothing.
absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Do you think he... What hit
There's
him?
nobody on the other side of him that he...
Was it a side blade, right? No.
I don't know.
Radiant's
Maybe he
top
queued up
tower's
something in the
taking
wrong way.
hits.
I don't know.
It happens. Happens.
It does happen.
I think Rob was just trying to show us something, but neither of us clued into it. That's okay. I don't.
Tower's hurting.
It's late.
We can't even make that.
Be
We can't even
quiet.
say
Be
that.
quiet. I was salvaging. He's got Daedalus on Nisha. Once again, more burst damage to take down Matumba Man. Even Zai as well. Like, he can be absolutely bursted in these fights.
Foxy? What? So not Mickey is using that double damage. Just have to back off though. The arrow gets tossed up by the Mirana. And just like that, they'll back off.
Alright, how does Liquid fight? How do they win this? I think, let's see, how close is Zai to Refresher? About a little bit less than halfway there. I think with Refresh Ravage, they can maybe kill Nisha on TA. But other than that, they're gonna need to have some crazy good fight.
Oh, they're hunting Zai. Zai knows it though. Oh, the arrow from Yapzor! There's that forward here coming out from Samel. Chases on after Zai. They've got enough damage where they should be able to burst him. He's gonna make him work for it though. Juking around the corner. Fuel's coming into play. And they'll finish him off. And that's scary when your tankiest person on your team just gets hunted down like that. Mickey also needing to be careful. It's fairly elusive, but doesn't want to get caught. As now Puppy in the top lane. Gonna just start combing through the jungle.
I like that Ice TP's up here though. Is Bucky invis or is he smoked?
He's smoked.
He's smoked, okay. So, presumably putting some wards
Oh
down.
my god, look at the damage from Nisha in that one hit. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a scary TA.
Very scary.
Going for a Bloodthorn too.
Foxy just throwing out the angle. It does get nightmares though, so it's gonna end up being the sacrificial lamb.
And this really is a great draft from Secret. There are some elements to it that I wasn't thinking about when we first saw it. Like, the Nightmare setup is also amazing this game to set up Ether Remnant as well as Mars Spear, too. So they have so many ways of catching, but they also have so many setups for each other as well. Like, the Mirana arrow set up by all of the same things as well.
It's right into Zai. You mentioned that earlier, though. You actually did mention the fact that, you know, because that was the big thing that the panel kept talking about, is that Ice playing that Beastmaster in the last game. He just wasn't playing close enough with his team. His team wasn't playing close enough with him. They just felt like he wasn't being aggressive enough. This time around, though, they really ensured that this Mars had, you know, components that he could go along with the Mirana, too, right?
Yeah, they have a lot better of a lineup for 5-manning and doing team play. Like, pressing cool things together in team fights, for sure. Beastmaster's more of like a map hero.
Yes.
Even I'm impressed.
Yeah, these arrows are just finding everything. They're not even intending to. They're just trying to get vision.
Hey, just scouting.
Yeah. Their value.
All
Foxy
I
jumping
can do
for
is-
immediately. They have the dust. And back around the Yules, though. Look at the teleport coming out. There's a big 3-man rush. Can they do it? The first damage. It's on the focus. They already take that down. The tail Foxy. Take out Bumpy. The mail next to fall. Nisha, though. Does so much damage. The IO coming back in here. Does manage to go and heal back up, but they're going to skirt away. Okay, blinking forward, rejoining up with the Zai. It's a big burst. They got the buyback out from Yapzor.
That is absolutely how Liquid needs to win this game. So the reason that this is a good initiation is because Nisha's just not there.
Towers getting beat down.
So they hit a
Radiant's
3-man
toughened up their
Ravage.
structures.
The TA is still TPing in because you have this delayed TP since these other heroes TP'd in front of him. So you kill these 2 heroes before TA can kill anybody. Then all of a sudden, he has to play scared. Liquid no BKBs, they decide, all right, let's just get out. We force some buybacks, we got some really important kills. We delayed a timing. We can fight later when we have Ravage again and when we have a Refresher Orb on Zai. And so that fight, if it goes that way and he has Refresher, they just kill Nisha there as well.
You can see just how absolutely effective that TA can be when she's able to, you know, get these hits off. Very, very scary. Although Nisha is in the bottom lane.
He's out. Okay.
He's teleporting. He has to, right?
Is he?
Oh, the
No, he's not.
from Mickey! Held it up. Zai throwing out. They've got the silence, the hex. They should have plenty of damage to slay this TA. And you know what, Jenkins? That's another way they're going to win this game. If they can get pickoffs like that.
100 seconds, and Roshan is alive. So
that's big. That's very big.
Sumail is checking it. He's like, all right, maybe not such a good time to die. Let's defend this area, de-ward it. Luckily for Secret, Liquid doesn't have great Roche taking capabilities. Maybe if the Razor ult hit Roche, but it doesn't. They do have an AC on Razor though, so that will help. And they do have the Gush minus armor, so maybe it is.
Well, they do manage to go and find Mickey though, so that's a nice follow-up here. Again, with that arena from Ice. Though just zipping one through here, gets that drain off. Then turn back around. Can they get the kill? Yes, they'll be able to find Poppy. Ice though. He's been left behind, doesn't have any mana left. Buyback now coming out from Mickey to go, and they use the finger. Nice spear away. The Razor though hunting. Nice arrow coming out from Yapzor. Buys a bit more time with the death for the blink. Over onto Ice. The taunt pulling him back. He just cannot crawl away fast enough, as that's now 3 heroes on the side of Secret that are dead, and they can walk right into this Roche pit, and they can take all the time they want.
You don't get to
Arrow's going to collide over onto Matu. They finished up the Refresher Orb, though. Zai has been an absolute menace with many of these Ravages, aside from just the one. So now he's going to have double the chances.
Yeah, Mickey dying at the start of the fight, that's not so good for Liquid, but it results in Secret kind of getting baited into like, oh, we got a pick off, like this is a good fight. And Zai was 10 seconds on Ravage there too, so he didn't even use that. They've got the Refresher and the Ravage for the next fight with an Aegis.
They've got tether stuns for Io. That one fight, I mean, honestly, let's scale back a little bit. Not that fight, but the fight before that, I feel. Around the shrine, I think is really when it started to reopen again.
It did, yeah,
For
oh,
Liquid,
for sure.
and then they got very lucky, right? Nisha was pushing the bottom wave. Mickey just happened to realize, oh, now it's the time to Dream Coil, and that just opened the door for this Roche. And now we've got some big item timings. As Liquid creeping across the river.
They can do this. They have 2 Ravages. They can do.
They see Nisha. They jump forward. Oh, Buxy. That'd be quite
He'd
fast
have
enough
eaten
here.
me if given half a
Courier, that's
chance.
going to zip away. They have forced them out of the triangle.
Yeah, Nisha saw the Ward and Sentry be placed there, right on the cusp of his vision.
Yeah, force this fight. Look at his eyes approaching. Hero comes in. All right, they'll be able to blow up Boxy.
You'll never know.
Dyer's mid-tower.
They're on Smart too much. She's just gonna back off. They don't have that lockdown. They jump forward there with the Ravage, with the Dream Coil. And we'll be able to go and head over on the Chief of the Beast. They're coming into play here. They'll follow the second Ravage into the arena, though, as Matu's trying to just get some of this damage off. He's got the link off, but he's taking too much. It's not looking to bring him aside. Won't fall. Matu coming back up in a moment here. Io trying to get over there. Oh, it's not going to be in time. Xenia.
Perfect.
It's gonna be the last one to fall in that fight.
Wisp.
Great Nightmare setup from Puppey. Also, the fact that the secondary Ravage had to be used just to interrupt the Fiend's grip. It goes back to what I was saying about the Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't have the Ags, but you're committing this really important ability for a 5 position. So he dodges the first one on Puppey, gets the grip off, which forces Zai to Ravage into Nisha's BKB. He does get Sumail, but he has to hit Puppey. And Ice, this whole time, and Nisha are just pounding away.
Radiant's mid-tower could use a hand.
It's too much damage.
Way too much.
Comes back, no BKB, easy burst.
And then Sadie's like, oh no.
Radiant's mid-rags take
Please.
its punishment.
Mercy.
There's no mercy here. Yeah.
Radiant's mid-rags. Didn't make it.
Don't show me that.
Sometimes all you gotta do, right? You need a moment, you breathe, you stretch, you're like, all right, that did not go the way we wanted, but Secret taking advantage of this, realizing they won one hell of a fight, are going to be able to rip down not just one tower rack, but two.
It's done.
What did I just see? Who's going for a Wind Waker? Okay, Yapzor going for the Wind Waker. So that is going to be able to save whoever gets coiled, whoever gets stunned by Lion, Ravaged as well. You can also Wind Waker yourself out of Puck Coil, which, you know, presumably he's going to be saving that for his team instead.
Yeah, Mickey realizing that he has incurred a lot of targeting. He goes and picks up the A on this because they definitely have a lot of damage, especially coming out from the TA in combination with, you know, the arena and just everything they tag along. Now we have the Ag Scepter completed for the Bane. So that is completed. He'll have that for the next fight.
55-second cooldown Fiend's Grip. I mean, that is just...
It's really good.
Just so good.
Very good, especially when your opponents have those BKBs. They want to be dodging in and out of these fights.
Yep, and it basically guarantees that if you want to interrupt those Banes from channeling, you're probably going to have to Ravage them. And once again, you're committing this long cooldown ability for a short cooldown one. Zai does have 2 Ravages, so that helps. I think in the Ravages, Zai needs to hit... You need to hit and kill Nisha in the Ravages. Otherwise, Nisha's just going to come back and just 2-shot you. But he's got the Aesthetics cap. So that's actually a really good pickup from Nisha. It's going to protect him from the Ravage, let him get his BKB off. It's like a poor man's Eon Disc.
Movement around the pit here. As you can see, Nisha's very forward. Zai standing up over on the eye spot. He's got a gem on him. He's got the blink and refresher. Feels like they want to try to go in for some sort of invasion, but the way that Liquid is dancing around, making it difficult for them to find the opening, but they're persistent on the side of Secret. They're going to start throwing their bodies forward. They do have that Moonlight Shadow. You've got the spider legs on Zai. Box is stepping forward. They get a little bit of that jump off, but look at the damage now coming up from Nisha. They have all the Fiend Strip. There it is. Holding on Martha's up as well. They use the Ravage. They've already managed to kill Foxy and Insania. Going to have to fight back now. Try to join right back into the fight. He's got that Ghost Scepter. He's trying to run away from Nisha. Nisha's doing so much physical damage. Samel, though, looking for this opening, trying to chase after him. Does have the Yules in place. Follow up there. Just a little bit too early, but they do get the taunt, so they'll end up losing Insania. He did fight back for this.
Towers taking hits.
And they'll put some pressure on this tower, but they don't have a creep wave.
Yeah, McKay just walked away from that fight. He's like, they don't have creeps. This is not looking good. I'm just going to go clear the spot area. Once again, creeps are a huge problem for the losing team in this case. But the burst from Nisha is just insane. Like, if anybody gets locked down, he has enough damage to kill them. Doesn't matter who it is.
You have this Bane with Axe. It's so hard. And Puppy's positioning has been so good in these fights. Like, he's so, like, it's almost already up. It's already just got a fight. E-Blade picked up now here for some mailboxy popping that Lincoln's here. Nisha again jumping forward. All right. That's not supposed to happen.
That feels bad.
More gush is coming out the top though, over on the big end. They've got the spear, they've got the arrow, they've got the damage. There is no puck available now for 120 something seconds. They're just leaving Zai to take a nap there until he wakes up. There's a big, you know, it's a different type of nightmare, but that is not the way that you want to be handled as a Tidehunter who had very, very good start to the laning stage. So Secret striking back.
Yeah, beautiful from Insania here. We can see. Oh, go back to this.